All right, if you missed the last episode, I picked up this Honda GX160 that didn't run. I wanted to see if I can get it to run and clean this thing up a little bit because I really would love to build a mini bike to have so I could take it around on track days or even just to get it around the neighborhood. These are really similar to the Predator engines that are out there, so there's a ton of parts for it, and I really think I could make this thing rip. Check the link in the description because I already have that episode up and live. In this episode, we're going to clean it up. All right, so now that we have this thing running and idling okay, I want to make it look nicer. So I've already taken off the valve cover, and I primed it, shroud fan cover, and the pull starter all off. I'm going to paint that a different color. I want to do the tank, but the tank, as you can see, not only is chipped and peeling, it's dinged up pretty good, and I just don't think it's going to look good on the actual mini bike. So, plus also filling this up in the center of the mini bike would be tough. I would like to have a gas tank over here. So I got this on Amazon for 30 bucks. It's black, but that is a perfect replacement because it has the tank on this side, or it has the opening to fill on this side, so it'll be easier to fill up. And so I'm going to also paint this Millennium Yellow to match the Corvette. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, just like I did with everything else, I'm not running a full-on body shop here, guys. I'm going to hit this first with some 600 grit, then some primer, then maybe 1,000 grit, and then maybe some more primer, and then maybe I'll wet sand it before I hit it with a final coat of the Millennium Yellow that we're getting for the Corvette. And I think that'll look really good with everything on here being yellow. I also have a much better muffler than that coming too. So this thing's going to look a lot better. So let's get started on doing this and painting everything else. I'll put links in the description below to all these parts that I'm putting on this because I'm not sponsored by anybody in particular, and there's tons of places you can get it. But if you buy this stuff through the links in the description, it helps the channel out. So thank you guys for supporting us. The other parts I definitely had to hit with a wire wheel first and use some like 400 grit sandpaper, but because this is already painted, finished, and already smooth, you just got to scuff it up to get a good surface area to paint. I know you guys are probably freaking out like, oh my God, he hit perfectly good painted gas tank with sandpaper. But honestly, I just want it to look different. I want it to look cool, so it'd be cool that this is all like a different color contrasting. The mini bike's going to be black itself. So I want the rest of it to have as much yellow as possible. So I'm going to try to do the brake caliper and as much stuff on this as I can to paint it yellow because it'll look good. Next, I'll hit it with some paint prep and then some primer and let it sit before I sand it. This looks like I'm painting it black again, but I'm not. This is paint prep spray. It just cleans the surface off as good as you can to get all of the sand dust that was on it from sanding it down with the 600 grit sandpaper. And yeah, I'm using a shop towel. I probably could use a better towel than that, but like I said, this is not a crazy body shop build here. This will get all the dust and stuff off of it as good as possible to get it ready to hit it with some primer, which we'll do that next. Like I said, I only did 600 grit on this instead of really sanding it down hard because it was already kind of finished. And you just want to have the best kind of surface to prep and put primer on. And if you just put primer right over a glossy gas tank, it's not going to stick very well. Also, I didn't really realize the temperature had dropped so much. It was 60 during the day, and it was like 42 degrees here when I painted this. So it didn't really dry great. I might have to hit it with some primer again afterwards, but it'll do the job. It actually didn't turn out too bad. You can see kind of a little bit of the orange peel that we kind of call it, where it's not super glossy. But if I hit that with some 2000 grit sandpaper and like wet sand it a little bit, it'll make it even smoother to make it look even nicer when I hit it with yellow. All right, so after hitting them with 2000 grit sandpaper, you can see that it's more of a matte finish, but to the feel, it's very, very smooth. So now I can apply final coats. Yellow. To be honest, it looks pretty good with the Millennium Yellow paint, but we're gonna hit it with clear coat to protect it and give it a better shine. All right, hopefully this is the last time you see this thing really looking like crap. Let's put all these new shiny painted parts on it. I know you're watching this like, oh my God, he's painting over that. Well, that's the old one. That's the new one. Pretty good. Put it on a mini bike. Honestly, I'm so happy on how this came out. The yellow looks really, really close to the Corvette. Maybe it might not be the same thing if the same panel was painted that color on the car, but it's damn close. Next up, I'm going to slap this on the mini bike and get everything kind of set up and squared up to be able to put a new wheel on it with disc brake and new tires and paint the whole thing. So make sure you guys stick around for that. In the meantime, check out these videos that I already have ready to go.